Election petition, why I withdrew my motion. Atiku says, yeah, because we got information that Atiku had withdrawn his case file against Inec and the APC for the irregularities in a bid to reclaim his mandate as the winner of the election. Okay, and shortly, even after encouraging all PDP members in the country, appreciating them for their resilience and their participation in the election, and encouraging them to remain steadfast as their mandate will be reclaimed. Now he's coming back to withdraw the case against Inec, and now he's trying to give us a reason why he did that. Let's hear why he's doing that. Probably he's convinced that he's obviously not going to make it. He's not going to win the court case, or even if he wins the court case, he cannot be the best person because Peter Obi's numbers are far, far higher than his numbers in terms of votes garnered during the election. So let's see why he's saying what he's saying. Presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, has said he withdrew a motion before the appeal court over a request to inspect electoral materials because the issue had been overtaken by event. He added that the Independent National Electoral Commission had already granted him access to inspect the materials, hence his withdrawal of the motion. Okay, so in a statement by his media aide, Paul Ibe, Atiku said it has become pertinent to make some clarifications following insinuations and mischievous reporting of the withdrawal of the application for Independent National Electoral Commission to grant access to the legal team of the presidential candidate of the Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, and the PDP on the inspection of the documents related to February 25 presidential elections. The Court of Appeal had granted the request of Atiku and the PDP to be granted unfettered access to INEC documents used for the presidential elections. On the 10th of March 2023, Atiku and PDP filed a motion, number 12M, ex parte and affidavit of urgency to ensure the implementation of the court order. The court, however, asked that they put Bola Tinubu, the All Progressive Congress, and the INEC on notice. Consequently, they filed motion on notice number 13M and motion ex parte number 13MA for substituted service on Bola Tinubu. But on Tuesday, at a conference meeting between lawyers of the PDP, Labour Party, APC, and INEC, access was eventually granted to the legal team of PDP by INEC. But when the matter came up for hearing on Wednesday, the two motions were withdrawn because they had been overtaken by events since access had already been granted on Tuesday to Atiku and PDP. Okay. So it is clear now the kind of case that Atiku is withdrawing from the court. Okay, so he is not challenging. He is not withdrawing his case challenging the illegality of the election itself or the declaration of the election or loss of mandate to Tinubu. So he is not withdrawing that case. He's still challenging that he won the election. The case that is withdrawing is the one that is challenging INEC with respect to granting them access to the election materials used for February 25, 2023 election. So he said that case is withdrawn, or that ex parte motion is withdrawn because that has been overtaken by event, as that access has been granted already on Tuesday. Okay, so meaning that the case is still on. He is not pulling out from the case. He is rather withdrawing the ex parte motion filed against INEC to allow them have access to the election materials. So they have been granted access to election materials already. So that case has been taken over by event. Now it is clear. It's clearly understood. It's clearly understood. Okay. It's clearly understood. Somebody say it is obvious Atiku came third and shouldn't have started any case, hence his withdrawal. Obi came first and has to fight his battle. So we need to get it clear here that he is not withdrawing the case of losing the election. He's rather withdrawing the case or ex parte motion that is against INEC for to allow INEC grant them access to the election material. Already that access has been granted while that case is to be heard. Hence, he pulled out that case and says it's been taken over by event. So meaning that Atiku is still on the case of recovering his mandate. That is clear. Because your brain is at your back. Okay? You are talking out of point. That's correct. Atiku is a reasonable presidential candidate. What is Obi waiting for? He should follow same footstep and let sleeping dog lie. No, who's sleeping dog lie? Atiku is not pulling that from the case. That is what people need to understand. So all of them don't understand the comment or the statement. You need to understand it before you make your comment. Because he knows that he didn't win the election. Obi is the one that won. Yeah, so the Atiku is not withdrawing the case challenging the outcome of the election. He's rather withdrawing the case that is compelling INEC to give them access to election materials. That is what is happening here. Someone said it is a waste of money and time. The court had never overturned a presidential election in Nigeria. It won't happen in your generation because most of your fettered on national assets and resources. Can you imagine? To understand what that guy is saying. This one will shock you and your generation. Okay? So I'm saying, Obi is not a saint. This is how you put us in the situation we are facing today. When you are calling Buhari an angel that time. Stop all this nonsense. Let God choose for us. God will not come down to choose for you. God has given you power to choose. So you choose for yourself. So if you're waiting for God to come and choose for you, then you rather remain there while people that have action will take over and continue to rule you. Okay? That is the situation. Somebody saying, Atiku Abubakar, withdraw yourself completely from election matters without delay because your participation in 2023 election contravened Nigerian constitution of power shift between South and North. Wow. Somebody said this is the most credible and peaceful election ever conducted in Nigeria. Can you imagine? Sadiq Salihu. This must be an outside person, of course. So they are happy that the election went the way it went, and they're saying that it's the best and most peaceful election ever in the history of Nigeria. How can you say that kind of thing? Because you are in the receiving side and you are being favored by the rigging, or it is your team that did the rigging. So all you think is that it is the fairest of elections in the history of Nigeria. Meanwhile, all well-meaning Nigerians are saying this is the worst election in the history of Nigeria as far as people are concerned. Okay? People have witnessed elections now. Right from 1979, we have been witnessing elections till date. Okay? We witnessed another election in 1993, which never saw the light of the day. It was overtaken by by military coup. Now, we return back to democracy again in 1999, which ushered in Obasanjo as president and Atiku as vice president. Okay? Since then, we have been witnessing the election, and we are saying that this one is about the worst of its kind in the history of Nigeria. And so APC people are saying it's the best because they're favored. It's okay. Let them rejoice while the favor lasts, because that certificate of return will be returned in due course. So thank you for listening, and if you have a comment.